All of the US and most major European countries are having the COVID-19 vaccine distributed today. And the production of this vaccine has happened so fast compared to normally that no one has really had the time to ask themselves the questions, is this vaccine safe? Should I take this vaccine? This Pfizer vaccine has already been distributed in the UK, so today we're going to take a look at what happened to the people who received the vaccine in the UK. Stick around until the end of the video, there's a lot of interesting things happening. As we take a look at the numbers, I want you to know that there's a lot of things surrounding the vaccine that we're not allowed to talk about. YouTube has made it very clear that they're banning both people and videos off of YouTube who put the vaccine in a negative light. So together we will try to navigate this authoritarian minefield. First off, you'll be thrilled to know that this is the first vaccine in history where the side effects are not debated, almost as if there are zero. Which is even more incredible when you think about the fact that it has been rushed through as fast as it has. The media is telling us that people are excited about taking this vaccine. Take a look at this.
The first box of 975 doses actually already arrived here this morning. There were some healthcare workers. They came out, they were clapping. I think that gives you just an indication of what a relief it is around the country to finally have this vaccine.
So CNN is reporting that people are so excited that they're clapping their hands. And over on NBC, we're told that some 70–80% of the public needs to be immune before the virus basically gives up and it will be gone. Collins told NBC's Chuck Todd on Sunday, "We think we can get there by June or so for almost all of the 330 million Americans who are interested in getting this vaccine." That's incredible. That is 100% of Americans who are willing to take the vaccine. Now, ABC got a little closer to the actual truth. They say that Democrats are more willing than Republicans. So 75% Democrats and 50% Republicans to get the vaccine. Combined, that's about 2/3 of the people who are willing to take the vaccine, but that number is still way too high. Almost all polls in both the US and Europe are saying that it's pretty much 50-50. I found a survey that was performed in Boston, which is obviously very liberal. And in that survey, it says that the survey found Black and Hispanic residents are far more reluctant to get the vaccine, a trend that is also echoed in the national polls. In Massachusetts, only 11% of Black and 32% of Hispanic respondents said they were willing to get vaccinated as soon as possible, compared to 59% of white residents and 71% of Asian respondents. My point here, before we get into the UK numbers, is that there's a huge discrepancy between what the media tells you and between what people actually are saying, which is a horrible trend that we're seeing in this pandemic. I just want to say that I'm actually, in spite of what it may sound like, I'm actually not against vaccines. I'm against these rushed out vaccines where you're not allowed to talk about the side effects, because literally, by the way, all vaccines in history has had side effects. And I'm against advising for taking a vaccine where you're not allowed to know the side effects and you're not allowed to talk about it. We have to be able to know what we're injecting ourselves with and the risks that follow, because there are always risks. And obviously it doesn't really generate confidence that the people who rule us won't take the vaccine themselves. Trump just announced that him and his White House staff will be taking the vaccine, but only somewhat later. That's a quote. All right, so let's move on and find out how the Pfizer vaccine did in the UK. By the way, the Pfizer vaccine is the one that's being distributed all across the US and in major countries in Europe, like Germany and so on. The Pfizer vaccine was given the green light in the beginning of December in the UK. It's now been out for a little while in the UK, and I want to be as fair as I can here. It does seem like it's mostly safe and that it does create immunity. But at the same time, there has been a few incidences that made the health officials say in the UK that if you have some pre-existing conditions, you shouldn't take this vaccine. In other words, it's not safe for all people. I don't want to be one of these people creating unnecessary fear, but initially there were reporting of 6 people dying right after being given the vaccine. Reuters quickly came out and explained what's going on. This is what they said. Social media users has been sharing a post that makes several claims of serious negative health effects from the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine, including that 6 people died during late-stage trials. These claims are partly false. 6 people did die during the Pfizer vaccine trials, but only 2 of them were given the vaccine. The other 4 were given a safe placebo solution of salt and water. No causal relationship was established between the vaccine and the 2 deaths, which occurred in line with the normal death rate for the general population. The first person to get the vaccine in the UK is not in critical condition. 4 cases of Bell's palsy, partial facial paralysis, were also not considered to necessarily be caused by the vaccine, but the symptoms will be under surveillance when the vaccine is distributed. Precautions have also been added for allergic reactions. So not 6 people, but 2 people died during the trials of the vaccine, which Reuters is saying that's a natural occurrence when you're dealing with a massive amount of people, which I think is a fair point. You'll always have, depending on how many people you deal with, there's probably always a few people who just naturally die. Either way, it doesn't look good. And it also says that the precautions have also been added for allergic reactions, because there's a lot of people apparently that had allergic reactions, violent ones as well, to the vaccine. And this is a more general thing. This isn't, we're not talking about a few people dying where you don't really know if it's attributed to the vaccine or not. This is something that they know for sure now that they didn't know when they gave it to people, that the vaccine will trigger certain people with allergic reactions. BBC posted an article about a lot of people having allergic reactions in the UK, but that article is gone, wiped away. I can't find it anymore. So now I have this article claiming that a couple of healthcare workers had allergic reactions, and it's enough for the regulators to say that people with a history of significant allergic reactions should not have the Pfizer Covid jab. As far as I know, that recommendation has not been attached to the version of the vaccine that's being rolled out by Pfizer in the US today, which obviously is not that great of a thing. This vaccine was hastily accepted into the UK, and they didn't really do their own testing and research before committing it to the general public. I do think the US is doing a bit of a better job. The CDC has at least confirmed in their view that it's a safe and effective vaccine. So I think it will generate more confidence in the US, but obviously since 50% of the people in the US are against taking it, at the very least right now, it says that people don't have a lot of confidence in this, but also in vaccines in general. Russia was actually the first country in the world to produce a fully functional vaccine for its general public, but they skipped the critical phase 3 test trials, where you test it out on masses of people before releasing it into the whole country. Obviously, they were heavily criticized for doing that, but now it looks like a lot of these countries in the West, it looks like we're doing the same thing. It's only 4 days ago that Oxford University released their own independent study on the vaccine, and that's way after the vaccine was given to the general public. There are a lot of people out there hoping for a safe vaccine, but these vaccines always come with a risk, and I just wish that the media and these private companies would be more willing to share the actual risk of taking a vaccine instead of downplaying them or sometimes outright denying that there are any side effects. So there you have it. I tried to be as fair as I could be. I would like to hear your opinion on this, whether you agree or disagree. Will you be taking the vaccine when it comes to you, which could be today or in the next couple of days? Or will you not be taking it? And give me the reasons why. And remember to subscribe to this channel if you like this kind of video. It really helps out my smaller channel. Have a great week, guys. See you in the next video.